Here you go. Tell me what this says. I can't do it all. I'm gonna get in trouble. Is the body bags. Another shipment going out. Come in and go out quick. They're coming. Here's another load going out. They're going out in these unmarked trucks over here. Load after load. See? They're wrapping them up right there. FedEx is right there picking them up. In and out, in and out, in and out.
Consumer alert this afternoon. 4 kinds of Duncan Hines cake mix are now being recalled due to salmonella concerns. Conagra Brands has voluntarily issued the recall on some classic white, confetti cake, butter golden, and classic yellow cake mixes. The FDA says sample matched one linked to 5 cases of salmonella illness.
A little while ago, Duncan Hines classic white cake mix was under recall after a retail sample of the product tested positive for salmonella. The company's classic butter golden, signature confetti, and classic yellow mixes are also being recalled out of an abundance of caution. Officials with the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention was investigating 5 cases of illness caused by salmonella, which was linked to the products. Consumption of food contaminated with salmonella can cause salmonellosis, one of the most common bacterial foodborne illnesses. Just be careful and aware of these products. As usual, they never really say when the recalls end.
Buddy, just a little update on my end, okay? I live in a basement apartment, okay? Right here's my bed, and right here is a pipe filled with hot sewage water, okay? There's hot shit running through this pipe. And that's not even the best part. The best part is, my upstairs neighbor's toilet is right there! So I can hear him shit! I can hear him flush, and then, get this is the best part, I can hear all of his hot shit floating directly above my fucking face at 2:30 in the morning. Literally, he had diarrhea 3 nights ago, and it woke me up. So, great upstairs neighbor, everybody, huh?
You know, what do you think about that guy's living? But better him is somewhere in. Some people live on the streets. You see, that's why you need to share love even to those people we don't know. And a lot of videos have passed, but there is that video I find somehow ironic and interesting with the flat earth theory. Yo, what do you think about it? I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. Especially now after I read somewhere in the Bible, I don't know, Genesis 1, how the earth was separated from water and firmament covered it. Oh, man, I'm starting to think about a lot of things. Please, share your thoughts on all this, man. This is very crazy. Much love to you. Oh. Secret footage of a strange creature. Oh, someone reveals this secret footage. It is no longer secret because you can see it here, but which creature is that?
The atmospheres and the waters below are the actual waters.
Okay, so just this place here?
Yeah.
No,
if you flew... So Admiral Byrd says he flew from America, right?
Yeah.
He flew south, went beyond the South Pole, and he found an island the size of America that no man had ever been to. And then he flew back, and then he did that interview and talked about it.
But how after that, someone does that,
Yep.
how is there not like 200 planes?
I know. Maybe they are, that's what we're saying. So those who know about this, the elite, I think, possibly, who's to say they're not going out there?
I want to use this just because I feel like a teacher.
How do we know? How do we know all our gold is not being siphoned out here?
What happens, so when they send a rover to Mars...
This is where it becomes tricky, right? These planets are all different suns and moons for the different realms.
When you say a realm, what are we talking just another world?
Another world.
We're not talking like another, like you're not also in this one, and you're not also in this one.
No.
It's not like an alternate reality.
No.
So, if we went over to like there, like what's the time?
They probably have a different time system, a different everything. It's a different dimension.
So they're living in the 7th dimension, or...
Yeah.
Who knows?
So when we go from here to here,
yeah,
you fly over.
You've gone into another dimension, technically.
So it's not just like... over a big wall, which is the
It
opposite.
is. It is. But once you get past the electromagnetic field,
Oh, so there's no field on this one.
there is a field around here. There's a
Yeah.
barrier.
And then
But
on
if you
the
can
road-
get past that field of barrier, you're now into another reality.
And they've got their own field.
They've got their own field for another world beyond that.
And our world, to get into our world.
Yeah. So if these people's out
I
here,
feel like
I know you've jumped right into the deep end.
What I'm feeling right now is like we're describing some like game of Warhammer or something like this.
They're
Like,
all- they're
I don't mean to be
You're
insulting.
right.
It's hard to accept this is what we're actually talking about is the world.
I know.
Because we're just so blasé about like crossing over just this little wall here. So you fly over this
Game
little
of
wall.
Thrones.
But we're talking about like this is genuinely
Reality.
what you believe. This
Yeah.
is your reality.
This is my reality. Absolutely. So our sun and moon are small and local to us. So when the sun is on this side of the earth, it's daytime here and nighttime there.
Yeah.
And they rotate that way, like a yin and yang. So that's how time works. On the outside here, their sun and moon is Mars and Venus. So their moon is Venus and their sun is Mars, and they rotate around.
Are either of them hot? To like
Yeah.
warm?
So Mars would be hot like our sun.
Okay.
So Mars is a sun like we have our sun Apollo,
Yeah.
right? And Venus would be a moon like we have our moon. On the outside, their sun and moon is Saturn and Jupiter. So Saturn is the sun of this.
And this is
realm.
what you teach your children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jupiter is the moon of this realm. So they regulate time and space and matter.
Pluto, that's not a planet anymore.
No, it's not. No.
Not for you either.
That's why I've stopped here. If there were more planets, then I would be able to syncretize that with this model.
Do you think there is more planets? We just can't see them yet.
Possibly.
So again, this ending here isn't really an ending. It's just that you can picture at the moment. That's
Yeah. Well, the
ending, but you
information
do
that I
believe it
have
goes on and on.
could go on and on.
It could.
I'm open to that.
Because I've read like flat earthers who say like you get to the end of here, without knowing, you get teleported back to this side.
Yeah, I've heard that as
and
well.
then you can come back.
I don't believe that.
And I find that hard to
There
comprehend.
isn't any evidence or anything that or any reasoning to prove that is something that could happen. Does that make sense? Someone just needs to walk in here and say, right, Martin, you're an idiot. Let's get on a plane. I'll show you that this doesn't exist.
And then you'll be like, cool.
I'll be like, let's do it. Let's go. Show me. Prove it.
So I'm not home for dinner tonight.
Yo, man, that is interesting. Yo, what do you think about this theory?
Washes up on a South Georgia beach and it has everyone scratching their heads. Is it a shark? Is it some kind of sea monster? Juliet Dreyer joins us now live. And Juliet, I was in the water today, so I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah, Jeff, a lot of people are talking about this, a lot of people. So just imagine you're out on a boat ride when you see what you think is a dead seal. So you get closer, only to realize that's not what it is at all. Take a look at your screen right now. This is what a man named Jeff Warren says he found on Wolf Island on Friday. That's just north of St. Simon's Island. He says he was boating with his son when they came across this mystery creature. It was about 4 to 5 feet long, and he says birds had already started to peck at the carcass. So the question now, what is it? Is it a fish, a shark, or maybe even a St. Patrick's Day hoax? Well, I have reached out to a lot of marine experts to ask about what this creature is, but so far, nothing definitive. Now, Florida Fish and Wildlife tells me they do have people looking into it right now, and we'll have an update tonight at 11. Reporting live, Juliet Dreyer, First Coast News on your side.
What is that thing? A baby precious? What do you call it? I don't know.
I found
Oh
another
my
Disney
god.
one that's bothering me, and I know it's gonna bother you too. So does everyone remember the intro to Disney movies when the castle would show up and then Tinkerbell would fly out of the background and use her wand to dot the I with like a little bit of magic? Yeah. Well, apparently that never happened. Tinkerbell never flew out of the background and used her wand to dot the I in Disney. Never happened, ever. There are intros where Tinkerbell flies out of the background, but she never uses her magic. What?
I think now that is mind-dazzling to me. You see, this side of the world, some time back, there wasn't many movies or something like that. And the movies that were there were just common. And those was Disney, there was something like that, if I can remember well. Now saying it didn't happen, I'm very surprised. But share your thoughts about it. Maybe I'm overthinking or it didn't happen. Or is this time traveling? My god, maybe I've been in time back and forth. Oh, I wish it was true. I would like to know.
A photographer in the United States in Florida and a photographer in Australia were able to photograph the moon at the exact same time. So my boy Cooley said, "Hey, Globy McGlobeface, any answers to help us flat earthers here?" And Globy says, "The United States and Australia are on the same side of the earth. Oops, just pick up a globe, and Celestial does confirm this. He lied." What? Globy, why are you lying? You can even Google this. Look, the opposite of the United States is the Indian Ocean, right in between Australia and Africa. On the exact opposite side of the globe from New York is Australia, but from Florida, it's like the Indian Ocean. So look, here's the United States, okay, I don't see Australia anywhere on this side of this globe, but when I go over to the other side of the globe, there's Australia. So Globy, what the heck are you talking about?
Oh man, think about it.
You just found out emojis are actually demonic sigils, and now you want to know more.
Treat yourself.
Plus internet portals, food sigils, Mark of the Beast numerology, and more. Here we go. I'm going to start off with a quote, or a paraphrase of an idea, which is basically what every demon or jinn waits for, is for two things. A very skilled magician to summon them so they can get down to work, or a fool who knows nothing to accidentally summon them. Doesn't even know they're there. We're going to come back to this thought later. But first we're going to continue investigating. I'm just going to tell you the story of the research I was able to find on it. Some maybe connect, and some maybe is a total reach. I'm just going to present it to you and let you decide. You know about Solomon, but we need to add a few more characters to the mix, like the Queen of Sheba, the Sultan of Oman, some of the creators of the Emoji Movie, and so. An archaeologist in the 50s named Wendell Phillips uncovered the site and holdings of the Queen of Sheba. And what he uncovered was so mysterious and hidden, but apparently was worth so much that it made him the highest oil holder in the entire world in exchange for what he found. And he became the second Westerner at the time to be an honorary tribal sheik. So obviously what he found was very valuable and held him in great regard. Now introducing another character into the mix, the Queen of Sheba. It was well known the relationship she had with King Solomon and how much he liked her and wanted to impress her. Imagine being so wise but being egged on in a Delilah-like manner to reveal secrets, to be even more knowledgeable than the Queen of Sheba. Solomon would have definitely shared these sigils and seals with her and his ability to control these spirits. So again, this is where some speculation comes in, that she took this home with her to Sheba, and this was part of what was uncovered in the archaeological expedition of Sheba and the Queen of Sheba's holdings, that Wendell Phillips sold to the Omani government for all the riches and fame. Which the same year, the Omani government then joins the Unicode Consortium, is the same year that the 72 emojis that match the demon sigils were released. What's very interesting about all this is that the Queen of Sheba sent a payment of 666 talents of gold every year to King Solomon. We're going to come back to that number later. But this idea of 666 having to do with some sort of mark in the story I'm telling you now and in Revelation. Let's jump into some interesting numerology for the moment. 72, like the seals, is also believed to be the Tetragrammaton, the true name of God, consisting of 72 utterances. There's also believed to have 72 angel symbols. And when you combine the 72 and 72, you get 144, which this whole number of 144 and 144K coming up in the Bible, well, that's a whole other storyline. And it fits in with this whole idea of humans replacing fallen angels in the storyline of God, which is kind of what the 144,000 is in Revelation. It's a chosen group of humans that take a holy place that angels would have taken. Now, aside from the number 72 being linked to other things like Pharaoh and even Star Trek references to 72 beings that rule the world, we're going to move into the emojis that immediately follow the 72. Check out this picture.
First 3 of death, the next 2 of a spirit, the last one of a soulless automaton robot, a 3-2-1 occult countdown, and the final state of humanity, the soulless automaton robot, for them to now interface through.
Now, back to the Omani government and other interesting things. Saudi Arabia lifted its 35-year movie ban for the Emoji Movie when it came out. You know, the government that possibly got the seals, that definitely were on the Unicode Consortium that released the 72 demon sigil seals, who now lifted the ban for the Emoji Movie. Which, if you look at some of the writers on the Emoji Movie, it's interesting. There was a demonologist who was also very proficient and into this stuff. And someone also who bought the house from the movie The Antichrist, who was also into these kinds of things. And you have this whole storyline of this devil character in the Emoji Movie. And other themes such as teaching of hieroglyphics in ancient mystery schools, themes of being glitched and trying to be fixed, which is basically the state demons are in now. Emoji switching identities at the end. And now if you look at the 72 genders of identity or gender, that's what you have. Think of the worldwide use of things like now the internet, phones, and emojis. Could this be an attempt to gain access or free themselves or be summoned through the emoji demon sigils? Take a look at this picture for a minute. Notice that one of the powers of one of these demons is to inhabit crystal, just like the one in your phone. Technology of all kinds, that I've covered crystals and technology. And I've covered what technology is, and the link between technology and the spiritual realm. And the more we go on, the more we're seeing the merging of the two, because since the beginning they were one when they were taught to men. Enoch covers this, and this technology has always been around. One of my wise commenters also pointed out, and I'll let you decide if it's true, how this Tree of Life Kabbalah picture looks kind of like the design for the phone, with the keypad and the home screen. This is how something can appear totally innocent and remain totally hidden in plain sight, which is part of a way of gaining permission without you knowing that you're giving permission. A way of welcoming them without you knowing you're welcoming them. And honestly, I don't think anybody really knows the full effects that any of this is having, but I will just say, look at the world as a whole in the past couple years, or even since this happened in 2016. Do you see a difference in the world? Do you see an uprising in witchcraft? Is Christianity now becoming the most persecuted religion in the world? Are just things changing and getting crazy in general? Are the world leaders totally unocculting and just revealing themselves as villains, plain as day in our sight? In conclusion, with ideas like NFT and the like, what this is, it's all legal permission of digital items. You don't even have to physically possess something for now something to physically possess you. Speaking of possession, it doesn't mean you're demon-possessed if you've used an emoji before, if you own a phone, if you've watched the Emoji Movie, or if you've eaten an Oreo sigil before. Yeah, that's a thing. Just like tattoos. Are tattoos portals? God said don't make any markings of the dead in your body, in references to tattoos. There's a belief that tattoos are portals for the dead or other things to come through if you have their sigil or their name or their image on your body. Again, this ties back to a lot of the Torah laws where it seems like God wasn't really out to ruin our fun. When he gave laws about what clothes to wear, it was for the highest frequency. When he gave laws about staying away from witchcraft, there was a reason. Remember, it doesn't mean you're a demon-possessed, hell-bound, cursed loser if you have a tattoo on your body. This is just a spiritual awakening, seeking truth at all costs. We're all learning together where it takes us. There surely are things that have been hidden from us, but many are awakening, and many know deeper levels of truth. Will you follow the truth wherever it takes you? The more we unbrainwash, we see how deep the matrix really goes, which by conclusion must mean that you're very important, and this knowledge is very important, or there wouldn't be such lengths to hide it from you, or to secretively and manipulatively control, gain access, or try to gain powers. Whether you believe any of this stuff or not, that's fine, but there are definitely rich, powerful people who believe this and go to great lengths to infuse it into things and to hide it in plain sight. I've given you a lot to consider and more. At first it may be disturbing, or it might not, but the point is to just learn and be the best you can be. This world may look bad now, but that's only for now. This world needs you and the strength that you're going to get. See you next time.
Yo, that is very interesting and at the same time scary, man.